Hey everybody, after watching my 8-foot bullwhip time-lapse video, a lot of you have asked me, hey, would you please do a step-by-step tutorial? And the reason I didn't do it in the beginning was that there's just a lot of steps to show. There's a lot of work in one of these bullwhips. This is the second bullwhip that I've ever made. This is my personal bullwhip. The handle's out of black walnut. I carved a snake head in there. It turned out pretty cool. The one you've seen in the time-lapse video was a whip that I made for my father. Turned out awesome. The whip just turned out gorgeous, and it works like a charm. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a bullwhip. And what I'd ask in return from you, my fans, is that you would share with all of your friends my channel, spread the word on what it is that I do and the things that I make, so that we can grow my channel and my viewership. So if you'll make that deal with me, we'll go ahead and show you how to make one of these bullwhips. So good luck on making your own bullwhip. Let's get started. Step 1. Measure out 3 lengths of paracord, one at 4 foot 6 inches, one at 3 foot 6 inches, and one at 2 foot 6 inches. Step number 2. Seal off one end of each of the lengths of paracord with a lighter. Now take the other end, stick it on a pair of scissors, melt it so that it will not fray. Step number 3. Now take a little bit of cooking oil, put it in a soda cap, and we're just going to rub down each one of your lengths of paracord. Step 4. Now we're going to take some BB gun BBs, and one at a time we're going to feed them into the paracord, sliding them all the way to the sealed end. And we're using a Bic pin to do that. Now we're going to leave 6 inches on the frayed end of each of the lengths of paracord. Step number 5. Take each of your sections of paracord that you put BBs in. There should be one that's 4 foot, one that's 3 foot, and one that's 2 feet, with 6 inches of paracord left over. And tape them together in a triangle shape. Tape them tight and straight as possible. And it should look something like this when it's done. Step number 6. Take 3 lengths of paracord that are at least 6 feet long, and these can be just junk paracord that you have laying around, and you're going to tape them to the flat sides of the cord that you've already got made. Now when you're done, it should look something like this, and it should have a natural taper from the top down to the bottom. And go ahead and cut off anything that is over 6 feet long. Step number 7, we're going to attach a steel rod that is 1/4 inch by 8 inches long, and we're going to do that by binding it with some nylon that we get out of the center of one of the paracords that we have left over. Now we're just going to wrap this a whole bunch of times with this nylon cord that we have, around and around until we get it nice and tight. We're going to tape it, and then we're going to bind it some more so that it ends up looking like this. Step number 8, we're going to go ahead and tape all of this up using black electrical tape down to the bottom where we've already got taped, and then we'll tape back up to the handle. The 9th and final step on our core is we're going to take some athletic tape, and we're going to tape 3 feet down our whip. When we're done, it'll look something like this. Alright, on to the next section. We're going to do the belly plate. So step number 1 is to cut 8 strands of paracord, 4 that are 12 feet long, 2 that are 10 feet long, and 2 that are 8 feet long. Step number 2, you got to gut the paracord. So the best way I found to do this is to hook it to something, the inner strands of the paracord, and then pull off the shell. So step number 3, we've got to tape on the 8 strands that we've cut, and you're going to have 4 on the left, 4 on the right, and you're going to have 2 at 12 feet, 1 at 10 feet, and 1 at 8 feet on each side, and you're going to want them to run from the longest strand, so the 12 feet, down to the shortest, which is 8 feet, the shortest being in the middle. Step number 4, plaiting the belly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the back strand of one side, it doesn't matter if it's the left or the right side, we're going to pull it around behind, and we're going to go under 2 and then over 2, and then he'll come back and join his friends on the other side. And then we'll switch sides and we'll do the right side now, or the left side I mean, and we're going to go behind, under 2, and then over 2. Okay, so then you'll just repeat this process, and we're going to plait down the core of the whip, plaiting all the way down to about 3.5 to 4 feet, preferably closer to 4 feet. And then we'll show you the next step. So as I'm plaiting down, I'll tighten as I go by pulling each strand after each 3 or 4 plots that I do to keep everything nice and neat and tight. Step number 5. Now that we've made it down to 3.5 feet or 42 inches, we're going to go ahead and drop a strand, and you're going to take your smallest strand, doesn't matter from which side, one of the 8-footers that we started with, and we're going to go ahead and take that, and we're going to wrap it around the back side and just temporarily tape it. And then you'll keep plaiting, and on the one side you're gonna plait under 2 over 1 now that you've dropped a strand, and you're gonna do this for about 2 or 3 inches, and we'll keep dropping strands until we get down to about 5 feet. Now that we've plaited a couple inches, we're gonna drop another strand. So we'll drop the other 8-footer, and it needs to be on the inside again. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap that around the back a couple times. We'll go ahead and attach that. And then once we've attached it, and I'm using it's actually a bag clip, so you can use electrical tape if you don't have a bag clip. And we're going to cut out the one that we've been plaiting on so that it starts to taper down for us. Now we'll go ahead and drop another strand, and we're going to drop again the shortest ones in the center, and we're going to drop that. And on one side we'll be going under 2 over 1, and the other side will be going under 1 over 1. And then we'll plait down another couple inches, and then we'll drop another strand, and it'll be under 1 over 1. And then the other side will be under 1 over 1. And we'll continue to plait down the whip until we get to about 5 feet. Step number 6, now that we've plaited, whichever one you want to say, down to about 5 feet, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to twist the strands around the core. I'm going to twist each one of them down against each other, so this will taper off on the next layer. It'll look really nice. And that's it for our belly plot. And let's go ahead and show you how to do the 12 plot overlay. So let's start on our 12 plot overlay, and if you're doing 2 colors, you'll just do 6 of each, and we're going to cut 4 at 18 feet, 4 at 16 feet, and 4 at 14 feet. And again, if you're doing 2 different colors, that'll be 2 of each of those. And we're going to go ahead and core them again, just like we did for the belly plate. Step number 2 is to take 6 strands from each side, and you're going to take a color from each side and put it on the opposite side, and that'll be of the longest strand. So the longest of each color will be on the outside, and then we'll go ahead and tape it to the 8 plot belly that we've already done. Step number 3, we'll start plotting the 12 plots, and you'll take one of the longest outer strands, and you'll go behind, under 3, over 3, and then you'll take the other side, do the exact same thing, and going behind, and then you'll go under 3, over 3. And that's how you do the 12 strand herringbone plot. As you're plotting down with your 12 strands, you'll start to get a pattern that looks something like this. Step number 4, at 4.5 feet, we'll drop a couple strands. To To do this, you're going to take the two inside strands, and they need to be the two shortest strands, or two of the four short strands. You're going to go ahead and wrap them around, and you can either tape them or clip them to the core or the belly of your whip. Now you'll keep plating over this, and your plot is going to be under 3 over 2 now that you've dropped 2 strands, and you'll continue to plot over those strands for 6 to 8 inches before you drop 2 more strands. Now that you've plotted another 6-8 inches, you're going to drop 2 more strands, and we're going to get down to 4 strands on either side. And plotting that, you'll go under 2 over 2, just like you did on the belly plate. And so go ahead and drop that, the first strand. We'll wrap it around, and then we'll drop the other strand, wrap it around, and again we can either tape those or either clip to hold those in place till we've plotted over them a few inches. You'll keep dropping strands every 6 to 8 inches until you get down to 4 strands, and then I'll show you what to do. Alright, step number 5, I believe. So now you're going to take, and we're going to take and drop the last 2 strands, and we're going to drop them into the center of the bullwhip. So this is what we're going to plate over now, and you should have 4 strands total left over after you drop these in. And you can go ahead and tie those, bind them together to distinguish them from the other strands. And we're going to go ahead and plate over those the last remaining length to 8 feet. So the plait on this last length will be under 1, over 1. Repeat it until you get to 8 feet. Now that you've reached 8 feet, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some half hitch knots. I believe that's what they're called. If I'm wrong, you will probably let me know. Anyway, so you'll do that with, do a couple half hitches with one of the strands that's left over. And then you'll take another strand and you'll do a couple more half hitches. And then do this until you've got 6-8 half hitch knots. Now you'll take that last half hitch knot that you make, and you're going to go ahead and cut that a little bit shorter, and you're going to feed it up through the rest of the knots, so this will hold all of them together. The fall I do the same thing. I take a piece of paracord and I feed it up through the knot so that it goes to the top of the knots that I've made, and you need your fall to be about 30 inches long. Once I get my fall pulled through the knots, I'll go ahead and cut it off and then sear it with a lighter. I'll just keep it in place. The next step is to cut off the rest of the lengths of the paracord that we don't need anymore. Making sure that you don't cut off the fall, and then we'll go ahead and sear those with a lighter. And then I'll take and sear the end of the fall with a lighter. And then we'll tie on a cracker and we're done. That's it, folks. I hope that was informative for you. I hope you can go out and build your own bullwhip now. I will have more information on my website about how to build the bullwhip, and with some links on some other guys that have built some and that do a really good job at showing you some of the different aspects. So go visit the website. Also, view my other videos. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, have a good day.